What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Metal Cardbot Mech tackle, or as he's known in the Korean show, Mega Trucker. This is the second in the Wave 1 figures I've looked at. Looked at the Blue Star or Blue Cop, and now we're looking at this. And I'm going to be mix and matching between Season 1 and Season 2, just so you can kind of get a breadth of figures here. Here is the card. Metal card. Got some gold. Nice picture of Mech Tackle in there. He does look like a football player, and it's intentional. You'll have to see the show. He's like the second, robot that's introduced in the show. We got some translucent orange and some silver. We'll see that detail when we transform it. We can remove the card. You get some silver and blue paint on here. Set that aside for now. Here's the figure. He does have some paint on the helmet. You got white, yellow. I think the eyes are painted behind the visor. Got a little bit of gray paint, translucent blue here for the headlights. Yellow paint, white paint, yellow and blue, and then gunmetal here. And then lighter yellow for the toes. Here's the back. Cleans up pretty nicely. Let's go over the articulation. Head is on a ball joint. So it gets back to there, down to there, side to side, and rotates around. I do like how they do the heads because you get plenty of movement on them. Shoulders rotate around on a ratchet joint. Up to the side, up to there. You have no rotation on this one. This one's a little bit more hindered in some spots. But you do get a double jointed elbow due to the transformation. You have in and out movement, nothing at the wrist really. You have a ab crunch, gets you down to there. Waist rotation. Well, actually, this is backward. I guess you have a backwards ab crunch. The forward one doesn't. Oh yeah, no, it does work. You do get a forward ab crunch, and a backwards ab crunch, and a rotation. Legs will kick up to there. Back to there. Everything has ratchets on these things. It's just, they filled it with ratchets. Out to the side of ratchets, which is nice. Helps hold the figure. And the first detent is not too far. That's the first detent. So I'm glad that they paid attention to the ratchet teeth here. No thigh rotation on this one. And like I mentioned in the unboxing, this is one of the Wave 1 figures. So the Wave 1 figures are a little more simple. As you get up in the seasons, they tend to get more complex. If you open this up, you can get this out of the way, and then you can bend the knee 90 degrees. But with that in the way, it does kind of hinder the knee bend. So you get up to there, and you have toe tilt forward. No ankle tilt. The heel tilt is kind of built in, so you get a pre-pose on the ankles there. All right, now let's take a look at his accessory, and he comes with this weapon. It doesn't come with a second weapon like Blue Star did, but go ahead and take the card off, and then we'll transform this. This is called his Mech Protector. We're going to flip these around. Come to this side, flip these around. It does have some nice blue and silver paint. And then we'll flip out these little blades for this wheel. The wheel doesn't actually spin. It's just, for looks. And now we have this kind of shield weapon. There's a slot right here and a tab on his shoulder. So we'll take this and plug that in there. And there you go. There's his weapon. Pretty cool looking. And for size comparison, there it is next to Blue Star. So you can get a sense of the scale. I do think this one's a little bit on the smaller side compared to the rest of the line, but it is kind of the Optimus Prime of the line. So this is a pretty big character. Big figure. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. And very straightforward and simple transformation on this one. Go ahead and fold a hand in. Flip up the arm and tab it in right here. And take this panel here and flip this around to this side. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Flip in the hand. Flip this up to here. Tab it in. Flip this around and cover up the bottom. Take the head, you can push down right here and flip that over so it hides inside. flip these panels up and tab them together on the top. Come to the back and flip these around all the way so they meet up here. Rotate the waist 180 degrees. Then we'll take care of these legs. Flip open these panels and tab them in on the outside. Flip in your feet. Flip in your heel spurs. Open up this. Flip in the heel spur. You can tab the legs together. Then we're going to bend the ab crunch. Make sure the head is down. Bend the ab crunch. Then you're going to accordion the thighs down while plugging this in. Just like that. All right, there's Mech Tackle in his dump truck mode. And it's pretty cool looking. The eyes definitely, on this one in particular, stand out. But I do like the translucent blue for the headlights and for the windshield. You got some gunmetal here. Nice bumper up here. Silver for the wheels, black for the tires. Plastic tires, but it does roll very nicely. Here's the dump truck area. You can take the weapon, and since this is still exposed, you can plug this in up here for storage if you wanted to. For size comparison, there it is next to the Metal Cardbot Flash Vector, who is like an Indy car. And I'm starting to think scale isn't really a thing in this show, right? They're just whatever vehicle size they are. So I had, Blue Star was kind of a smaller car. This guy is kind of bigger. Dump truck is kind of in the middle. So yeah, I don't think they necessarily scale the vehicles, but there you go. So final recommendations on the Metal Cardbot Mech Tackle. This one I think is a little too limited for me. I actually struggled to get into pose for the final recommendations here. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 partial recommendation. I think it looks very cool in the dump truck mode. It's a cool looking vehicle. I do like the power up, the mech protector, but he's just too limited. The articulation makes it really tough to get into a fun pose, and the weapon, it's on the shoulder, so you've got to kind of get him in a pose where he's got this front shoulder towards the front, and because the arm is so limited, it just makes it tough. I do think it's cool looking, and he is a main character from the show, so he's kind of a necessity from wave one, but it does feel limited. It doesn't feel quite as advanced as the other two I looked at so far. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to Agabyss for sending these. We'll have more of these coming. We're doing 2 at a time, so expect a few more videos. And we'll see you next time.
TM Reviews. What's up, YouTube fans?